Okay, everybody, hang in there. We're going to be on in just a second here. We're getting everything to come on in. Come on in and stand by. I'm a little late. I'll explain it all here in just a minute. Let's see. Getting all my screens up. Just give me a second here. I know it takes everybody a little while to get notified and get in, especially when my schedule has been a little bit erratic. All right, let me go ahead and put the keywords in for tonight. I don't know why it doesn't let you put the keywords in or the playlist or any of that from OBS. I have to go in and select all this stupid shit once I go live, and so I kind of take the first few minutes to do that, and that gives everybody a chance to get in here. All right, there we go. All right, I'm standing by. Now get some guys, get some folks come in here. We'll get going here. I know I missed my start window, so I'm not expecting a big crowd tonight. I was in the hospital with a loved one, and so it is what it is. But I am here. There we go. There we go. The numbers are coming up now. All right, and tonight we're going to be covering Hurricane Erin. Yes, team, you are first. You are correct, sir. All right, so above me, I've got about 25 different slideshow images. Many of them are moving, like the one you see now. And this will give you all kinds of different views and information about the storm, and this will continue to roll throughout the show. Above that, and center, over in the center up there, I've got the anti-deportation rallies and protests going on. We're back out at the federal building again, and the one on the right is at a different location. These, I believe, are at two different locations, or they could just be on two sides of the same building. I'm not really sure. The way it sounds like it's at a different location, but I can't say for sure. So we're just going to hold tight here. Looks like vehicles coming in there. Can't tell because the cops are the only people that are allowed to tint their windows. I have no problem with a cop tinting his windows. I do have a problem with him having a problem with me having tinted windows. That's what I got a problem with. All right, so tonight Hurricane Erin is going to be what we're mostly talking about. There's a lot going on with this storm. The main focus of this right now, though, needs to be the fact that it is going to follow the contour of the country, which means that two things. The good news, no land strike. No 100+ mile an hour winds anywhere. That's the good news. The bad news is we are going to see minor to moderate effects, even some severe effects in a few areas from this storm, from Key West all the way to Maine. We could see effects along the coastline. This could be a billion-dollar storm, and it never hits the country. I know, it's one of those. This is going to be one of those. Oh, hey, no problem, man. I appreciate you coming in. What is it? At license, I guess it is. 10010011. Is that the Next Generation episode? 10110011. It's a good episode. I can't believe they duped both of the command officers with some chick in the holodeck, but okay, it worked, right? Anyway, so what we're looking at over on the far left over there, way over there, that one is beach cams. Now, unfortunately, it's gotten dark. But those are coastal watch beach cams for Hurricane Erin, and you can see that there. I had to hit the button. I hadn't hit the button yet, so a few of the changes weren't even up yet. Okay, there we go. So there's that, and that looks good now. Okay, there we go. That looks better. All right, so I am going to go through the tropical stuff in depth like I always do. And we're going to also keep an eye out for additional videos as they pop up. If um, it's a fish storm, that's right. I would not say it's a nothing burger yet. If that, I don't know if that's a, is that the I'm not up on my emojis. Is that the emoji for nothing burger? It's not going to be a nothing burger. It's not going to be a direct hit. It's not going to be one you tell your kids about. It's not. Hopefully, we'll have no fatalities. That would be nice. We don't have a lot of e-names left, so it would be nice if maybe we didn't burn this one up this year. And if no one gets killed and the damage is under $1 billion, then hopefully we can save this name for 6 years from now, because we're almost out of E and I names. Take it from an Ian that just got his name used up, I know. It's a fish patty. Yep. Yeah, it's definitely a fish storm. It's nothing you need to worry about. Now, that's pretty much the bottom line on that. Anyway, I do want to welcome everybody tonight. This is Starship Adventures, and tonight I've got that half of the studio turned off. Isn't that amazing? You guys don't normally see it like that. I'm moving a bunch of stuff around. You can see my new fridge back here. Yeah, it's kind of big, but I don't care. I need to put it in a room that's air conditioned, and I happen to have the room in here, so it's very convenient now when I want a snack or fill my drink, which I do about every 2 hours. It's right behind me. This would be an alcoholic stream right here. I mean, come on. Really? You kidding me? So anyway, that's what I got there. That's my new fridge. It's a black. They call it a half size. It's a little bigger than half the size of a full-size fridge, but I like it. All my stuff's in there, and if I need to get a drink now, it's a lot closer. Doobie 12. Doobie! I love it. I love clever names. Yeah, Western North Carolina needs to be spared. Eastern North Carolina is where we're actually worried the most tonight. And because the Outer Banks, they stick out like a sore thumb up there. And if you look here on the radar, how close it's going to come, it's not. We're relatively sure it's not going to hit or even come closer than 100 miles, but we're talking about a big storm. That's going to be a 2, 3 as it goes by here. Some of the models still have it as a has it as a Cat 4 going by. Other models have it as a Cat 2, so that's why they're being a little conservative here, and they're going to call it a 3 as it passes the Outer Banks. This entire area here, although this is not actually showing it, this entire area here is currently under a tropical storm watch. Extends all along North and South Carolina, and I believe part of Virginia. And that's, again, a watch or a warning for a tropical storm or hurricane. Does not mean it's coming your way. It simply means that within the forecast period, you will experience, some people in your area will experience at least what they say. So, in other words, if they're saying, look, it's a tropical storm watch, then within 36 to 48 hours, you should expect the onslaught of some winds. If it goes to a warning, that's within 24 hours. So when you get a warning, it's like 24 to 36 or 24 hours. Right now we're under a watch. We're still a day or two away. Right here, this is where it's going to be coming up on the 21st. So we're still 3-4 days this thing's sitting out here. You see what I'm saying? This is tomorrow at 2 p.m. And then this is 2 a.m. on the 20th. And then we move on up to here. This is the 21st. So we're talking 3 days from now. We're talking on Thursday the 21st. It's going to make its closest pass to the United States right there. And then it's going to move off further on up. But it's not, again, Not going to hit anything. So I'm going to pull up my Epic pin here, and we're going to be taking a look at that. I got to tell you, one thing I did want to mention tonight. I got, as you most of you know, I got a loved one in the hospital, a very special loved one that's in the hospital and had a serious medical episode and a long road to recovery. And I'm in there and on day 3, and we like our hospital here. It's better than some others, and we like our nursing staff. They're really good. But you know, I got to tell you, the whole process of them talking to you in the hospital. I've been 3 days now. I talk to everybody that walks in, unless it's the nurses that just move her around and stuff. I know who they are, but I'm talking about like regular nurses, like RNs and doctors and specialists. When they walk in, I immediately ask them questions about, hey, do you know about this? What's going on with that? Has this been arrested? Has that been stopped? Has this, and they won't tell me anything. Hey, Junior. Hey, Rippin' Farts. What's up, man? Rippin' fat ones. And Coco, thanks for being here. And Billy McAllen, thank you for coming in. Yeah, so I've been trying all this time to get information. What do we do? What's the next step? Are you going to try surgery? Are you going to try anything? Are we going to do this? Are we going to do that? Is she going to need this? Is she going to need that? And I got to tell you guys, it's been very frustrating. They don't talk to you. They just treat your loved one and they look over you. I mean, now the nursing staff, this has nothing to do with the nursing staff, because the nursing staff's great. But they tell me immediately they're not allowed to discuss her prognosis with me. They're not allowed to discuss any of that in-depth stuff. All they can discuss is the immediate care that's in progress, and if it gets too in-depth, they got to call somebody else. So I find out this morning, oh yeah, we're going to put her in a nursing home. I'm like, really? Which one? And they're like naming off a nursing home. And I'm like, I'm going to tell you something. If I come up there tomorrow and she's not in that hospital and she's on her way to that nursing home, I said, I'm going to file charges for kidnapping. And you think I'm kidding? I said, you cannot do this. You have to talk to me. I'm the designate. She is unable to make decisions on her own. You've admitted this. We've admitted this. I should be involved in any decision making that needs to be done. They won't even call me back. I was up there today. I spoke to her nurse for the longest time. Nice lady. Really nice lady. Bound by law and rule not to help me. And she said, I'm sorry, there's nothing else I can do. I put in the chart that you want to see the doctor over and over and over. I've put in the chart that you want to see the patient advocate. I put in the chart that you would like to speak to the physical therapy people. And the bottom line is, no one's ever spoke to me. I sat up there for 4 hours today and no one ever spoke to me. So when I was leaving to go to work to produce a radio show, I stopped at the front desk on the way out. I'm like, hey guys, listen, getting a little aggravated here. Day 3 and no information at all. Nothing. No information. I sleep at night not knowing if she's going to live or die. You guys won't tell me nothing. And I want to know what's going on with my mother. And I said, I've walked these halls. I've walked into 4 different offices, and they told me that that's not their department. And everybody keeps telling me to come to the reception desk. So I'm here at the reception desk. I need help. I want to speak to someone from management that's in customer service that can assist me directly at getting the information that I need as my mother's advocate. And she calls up, she goes, oh, the patient advocate's busy today. He's got some kind of outpatient training or some kind of training. I said, what? I said, the only person in this 8-story, huge ass downtown hospital that can help me is on some training exercise at another hospital today? Does that even make sense? I said, what kind of bullshit is that? And so I told her, I said, I was not cussing. When I'm out in public, I'm very direct, very stern, even a little loud, but I never cuss. You want to know why? because as long as I don't break any rules, I can be as obnoxious as I want as long as I'm not disorderly, and I'm very careful. And but I told her, I said, let me tell you something. I said, I'm very upset about this. I want to speak to someone from management. She called and called and called. Nobody would come down. Nobody would come down. I said, does someone run this hospital? Anybody? Is there someone that like wears a white shirt, maybe has something gold on, that says that they run the goddamn place? Is there anybody? And finally, she goes, let me see what I can do. And she's acting like I'm bothering her. There's no one waiting to get in. I waited 20 minutes in the line when I got there, but now there's no one coming in because it's 2:30 in the afternoon. So I'm trying to get, I'm talking, I'm like, look, just get me someone. So she calls like hotel, she calls hospital management. She says, I got a man down here that wants to talk to somebody about his mother, and he won't take any of my advice or do anything. All he wants to do is talk to somebody. So she goes, I guess I need someone to come here and see if we can do this, because this is what and she's like condescending to me right in front of me. She's condescending. I'm like, I looked at her, I said, you know what? I'll just file a formal complaint and I'm going to include you in it. I said, that's nasty. And I turned around and walked out. So then I started calling. I called for an hour and a half. They kept, every time I would call, they would look up my name, look up my mother's name. I said, look, I don't want the nurse's station. I don't want the fourth floor. I want a manager. I want to speak to management. Next thing I know, fourth floor nurse's station, 5 times. 5 times. You cannot speak to somebody in charge. It's a hospital. My mother's in there. She's not, we don't know what's going on. No, we haven't been asked the first thing about anything. No one's come to us and said, hey, we're going to need to find an assisted care place for her for a few weeks until she's ready to go home. That's what they did before. What's different now, right? Oh, well, they've already picked out a nursing home and they're getting it all set up. I told him, I said, you can't do that. You cannot just take people and ship them places. You have to talk to the family. You have to get things signed. So it was just very difficult. All day long this went on. Finally, at 4 o'clock, I get the nurse back that I've been dealing with all day. And I apologize to her because I'm like, look, you're in the middle of this. You're the only contact I have with your hospital. The doctors won't speak to me. They won't transfer me to anybody that can help me. All they do is transfer me back to the 4th floor nurses station, the 4th floor nurses station on 4 North. That's it. And I said, and I'm sick of it. And so she says, well, I'm going to send a message to, I had 5 different people tell me they were going to send messages to the patient advocate and have them call me on my phone. It is now 9:47 p.m. Eastern time. Okay? This all happened 6, 7, 8 hours ago. No one has called my phone. No one's called me. They don't give a shit that my mother's in there, and none of her family even knows what's going on with her. They won't let anyone talk to us about it except the doctor. And the doctors are aloof. They come, they go. I swear they don't even come in the room. We've got people there. We would see them if they came in the room. There should be a hospitalist that checks in with my mother twice a day. We never see him. Or her. Who knows? Who knows what gender they are? All right. So, hey, everybody. Hey, Popeye. Welcome in. Dom, welcome in. We're here all the time. Aquarius, welcome in. Victor, thank you for being here tonight. Victor's one of my original supporters. Thank you for being here, Victor. Yeah, I gotta tell you, and Red, thank you. And I hope I didn't miss anybody. My memory's so bad right now because I got so much going on. I'll probably say the same things over and over and over again tonight. I'll probably say hi to you 3 different times. It is what it is. Team Hunky, I think I missed you on the first pass. All right, I think I got everybody. Did I say that right? Hunley, Team Hunley. I'm sorry, I totally blew that. My eyes are so bad. Anyway, all right. I'm real tired. It's been a long time. I wanted to come on tonight. I didn't come on last night. I apologize. I'm going to come on more and more. I'm going to keep. I got to keep this going. I mean, this is my future. I like to do it with you guys, and I really enjoy it. So yeah, I'm going to be here as much as I can. Hey, Brian, thank you for coming in, buddy. I appreciate it, guys. We are here almost every weeknight. Sometimes I take Saturdays off. I got a loved one in the hospital right now, so it's a little sketchy right now, a little sketch, as they call it. But I'm here tonight. We're going to be on for, another hour maybe, and we're going to talk about the hurricane, and we're going to talk about all of the other stuff that's going on up there. But more importantly, I want to talk about the system that's coming behind this storm. We're going to run the models in just a few minutes right here on Starship Adventures, so don't go anywhere. First, I want to talk about the California megafires. They are still going on out there. It almost seems crazy to talk about, but they are actually still going on out there. They're in a phase right now, especially with the big fire, the Gifford fire. They're in a stage right now where we're not seeing a whole lot of new growth. And again, not a lot of hot spots. Tonight, we're just seeing, again, one hot spot tonight. And that was observed by satellite. So that's a good thing. Let me see if I can pull this up here. Oh, it's here. Hold on. There we go. Hey, there we go. There's the Gifford fire right there. All right, so what we're basically looking at here... Ooh, that looks like crap. Hold on, let me fix that. There we go. I had a screwed up line there. That would have messed me up. Okay, so you can see we've only got this one hot spot here, and it's up on that end of the fire that's been growing up on Garcia Mountain. But the good news is right now is we're actually seeing this start to subside, and I do believe they are getting it under control. There's not a lot of new fires. That Santa Clarita fire that we were following, it looks like it is completely out. It's not even showing up on the map anymore. So that's good. It looks like that one's completely under control. The Gifford fire is currently 43,000. That can't be right. That's not right. I hate when I get a map and the data is just not right. All right, anyway, let's go to this one. This one's how I used to get the information for you guys, but the problem is this one doesn't load for me anymore. When I click here, it doesn't bring up the stats anymore. So I guess I could click the button and ask CAL FIRE. I just didn't want to bother them. I know they're busy. Anyway, let's see, 131,000 acres. And you can see there that all of the current evacuation orders have been suspended, with the exception of this northwest finger up here. This is the only active burning that's left. They've got all the rest of this under control down here. So that's really good news. And I do believe we're entering a phase now in California where we're starting to see it's not as volatile, basically. Let me just put it that way. Not near as volatile. Let's go over and go to Mike's weather page. You guys know I love Mike's weather page. If you guys are doing anything, if you do anything with hurricanes, please pass this along. This page has more direct, constantly updated information than just about than any other page. You can't even find this much information anywhere at one time. So good luck with that. This is a great one. Up here in the upper left corner of Mike's weather page, you'll see the models, GFS, Euro. I'm going to go to the GFS model. I want to show you guys. I hate that it's skewed like that. Let me see if I can... yeah, here we go. I just want to pull it over so it's not skewed for you guys. All right, here we go. This is our model now. And this is, again, the American model. And we're going to run our storm forward. But I want you to watch down here, not here. We know what this one's going to do. It's this one is the big unknown. And watch this. It brings it across. Now look, our big storm's up here. Notice it strengthens more. Look at this. It's at 552 millibars right now. We go forward, it brings it down, it deepens it to 941 millibars. That is a dangerous Cat 4 storm right there, 3 or 4. So I don't know about all the weakening. Some of the models show weakening, some are showing strengthening. So it's going to be pretty strong when it goes by. But we're looking down here at these two lows down here. Okay. There we go. It comes into the island. Does it violate my 20 north rule? Well, it's hard to tell because it's kind of just a blob. It looks like it's just above my 20 north rule, which means it's going to be an East Coast storm. And there it goes up through the islands, about 50 miles offshore Nassau, Bahamas. And then there we go. Now, I want you to notice the numbers, 963, 955. And then boom, looks like a very close call, if not a hit, on the Outer Banks at 949 millibars. That's a major hurricane. So this definitely bears watching. And as it goes out, it's not showing anything behind it. So that's pretty much that. So that is our problem right there, is we've got this wild card. Now, let me show you what the last run. Let's go back to the 6Z run this morning. This is this morning's run. And there you can see there's our big storm. Look at this morning. It was deepening it down to 936. Okay, so here we go forward. Here's our storm down here coming across this low pressure system. And no genesis. There we go. So it's forming into something there. And then it moves out. No impact. So that's an interesting one, right? Now let's go to the noon model. This is noon. This ran today at noon. Boom. Genesis right there near Haiti. Land interaction. Above Haiti now, 991 millibars. That's a developing hurricane at that point. And 978 millibars as it approaches Key West. 968, that's a strong 2, a weak 3. And then it goes right up the east coast of Florida, and then crosses back over, enters briefly into the Atlantic, and makes a second landfall into North Carolina. This is a worst case scenario, but again, the model showed this only on one run. So we've got runs. I can go back a few more runs. It takes it into Brownsville, Texas. So it's not sure where it wants to take this storm. This one here does the same thing as that last one I just showed you. Let me go back. One more run. This was last night. Last night's run brings it in and goes up the East Coast. Cat 3, right up the East Coast. Cat 3, and then a landfall in South Carolina. So not a great one there. So no matter which one we do here, they're all coming over and nearly making landfall or making landfall in the United States. Now here's one. This one brings it up through the islands. Let me bring this up a little bit so you can see it. Brings it up through the islands. We're up over Cuba now. And boom, Genesis as it goes over the Keys. 988 already as it's going by us here at the studio. 982 as it draws away. 974, we're now Cat 2 hurricane, Cat 3 hurricane. And look at that, right into Louisiana as a Cat 3 hurricane. So, in other words, the point is every run, this makes a hurricane and it puts it into the U.S. somewhere, or it puts it right off the coast. So we got to definitely watch this next blast coming by. Now, I don't believe they've issued it an invest number yet, so I'm not going to be able to do some of the model runs, but we can go ahead. Let's just go back to Mike's weather page and let's run the Euro. Now, the Euro is not as aggressive. Okay, here we go with the Euro. I don't think the Euro goes out as far either, but let's take it as far as it'll go. All right, here's our low coming across. March. No Genesis. You know what? Every time I say that, I always like, no whammies, no whammies, no whammies. Stop. Okay. Anyway, sorry if you're not an '80s kid, you won't know that reference. All right, but see, this one kind of washes it out. Doesn't really make much out of it. Looks like it's not going to hit the mainland. So the euro is trending right of the other ones, which is pretty typical. Okay, so let's go to the CMC and let's run the CMC now. All right, we're going to run this out. Look at that. It sucks it up. Sucks it up. Another one comes behind it, though, and it looks like it's going to get sucked up, too. So the CMC now not feeling it. Not feeling it anymore. So there you go. All right, let's run. I can run some... I think these might do it. Let's see. Oh, wait, do we have an invest number? Nope, that certainly isn't it. Is it? No, it's not 92 West. Is it 90 West? No, it's not 90 West. Is it 17 West? No, it's not 17 West. So we don't, it's not on there yet. But I think I can pull up, no, that one won't help. Let's do this. Let's go to this one here. This one I think goes out far enough that we'll be able to, nope. Oh well. Hopefully it won't be long and some of these will start picking it up. All right, well, there you go. And the only other things I wanted to show you on here, this is actually what we're dealing with here. This is our storm. And there's your information. Currently 130 mile an hour sustained winds around the center in the eye wall. Movement northwest at 10 miles an hour. So it's slowed way, way down. And that's why we're now looking at a storm. Look at this. It's going to be around for a very long time. That's 2 p.m. Wednesday. Okay? It is 10 p.m. on Monday. So, you know, we're talking way out. This is 2 a.m. on Thursday. It's going to be here. And then 2 p.m. on Thursday. So this thing, it's going to be a Wednesday, Thursday event. There will be some effects felt probably in Florida, along the east coast of Florida and Georgia. But it won't get too bad until you get up to the Outer Banks, because they're just going to be a lot closer to the storm there. The Outer Banks comes out further than anything in that area anyway. I know once you get north of New York, it comes way over. But the Outer Banks comes out further than anything in South Carolina, North Carolina, Virginia. And so that makes it vulnerable. And then the storms curve. And the curve on the storm brings it on its closest path right in North Carolina. So those two facts alone are kind of bringing it to where we're going to get pretty close right there. But the worst of it will definitely remain offshore. That's the good news. At this point, yeah. That's pretty much that. Oh, I hate that this one has gone out now. I can still get it this way. Open image in a new tab, and I can do it this way. It's kind of weird. But anyway, there's our storm. Look at the outflow from that thing. It is really doing its thing there. Not a real good eye right now. I've seen better outflow. But anyway. All right, so there we go. That's that. Any other questions on the hurricane? I'd be glad to answer those for you guys. All right, so what else is going on out there? I talked about the new tropical disturbance that's coming up behind Erin, and we talked about that. That's a wild card. Someone's definitely going to get some effects from that one. There's some Hawaii volcano activity. Now, I went and looked at that just a little while ago, and there's a lot of seismic unrest in the Pacific right now, and it's believed that this might be a precursor to something happening, to another seismic event, a large seismic event with a possible tsunami or something. Okay, so here we go. Let's take this back over here. This is going to take us over to the, this is the seismic monitor. And basically what we got here is these little things only blink for a minute. I wish they would keep blinking. There we go. This is our current one here. This is the latest one. And that's a 4.7 in Taiwan. And then over here in the U.S., in California, we've had a 2.9, which is pretty small. But that's it. We haven't. There hasn't been a whole lot of seismic activity today, so not a crazy amount. All right, and let's see. The other next thing I want to talk about. So right now, if you had a backyard telescope, you would be able to see the shadow of Titan go across Saturn, which is pretty cool. This happens all the time. It's not like something like, oh my God, it's never happened again. It's never going to happen again. It's not like that. But it's kind of significant in the fact that it's a neat thing that you can see with a decent backyard telescope. This is like a little back and forth picture they made of it. Time's running out to witness this rare spectacle on Saturn. Since May, amateur astronomers have been spotting the shadow of Titan, which is Saturn's strangely Earth-like moon, as it glides across the ringed planet cloud tops. And the next opportunity won't come until August 19th. And this is going to be the final transit. So that's tomorrow. This will be the final transit after the season ends on October. Observers will have to wait until the 2040s for another chance. So not rare, but pretty rare. I mean, if you think about it, that's 15 years. That's fairly rare. Not quite as rare as a full solar eclipse or something, but if you're in a single area, but still. They only occur during Saturn's equinox, when the sunlight strikes the planet's rings and moon's edge on. Among Saturn's menagerie of 274 known satellites, Titan's shadow stands out as immense, jet black and visible even to the modest backyard telescope. So there you go. I just thought that was pretty damn cool. All right, and just to finish up the news roundup here. Global heat wave is continuing. Dangerous high temperatures breaking records worldwide. You know, we had record-breaking winter temperatures. We have record-breaking summer temperatures. The truth is 150 years of temperature history is not that much. And so we're going to be breaking records for a long time. Now, once we've kept records on this planet for 1,000 years, then it'll get to the point where it's like you don't hear records getting broke all that often anymore. But some places the records only go back 50 years, 75 years, 100 years, that's it. Some towns, the records only go back 25 years, there was no town there. So it's kind of hard to tell exactly. Yeah, boy, that would be a cool eclipse if you were on Jupiter. I wonder if the size is right like ours, where if you see it, it would be a ring of fire. Do you know how rare it is that our moon is in the perfect orbit, that it completely covers the sun and nothing more than the sun? It's perfect. That's why I think it was towed into place. I think the moon is part of the experiment here, because it was the tidal forces from the moon that created life on Earth. The moon is just as likely it is just as responsible for life here as the sun. Because if it wasn't for that tidal oscillation, we never would have had the primordial slough. And it never would have happened. It never would have happened. we never would have had the first cell division and eventually creating sentient life. And so the moon is so important. And then when they talk about it rings, it's hollow, it's on some strange ass crazy orbit. Have you ever noticed it always faces Earth? You have never seen the backside of the moon. It's an illusion. We think it's spinning up there because it's dark on one side and then it's dark on the other side. No. You always see the exact same face on the moon. You've never seen the other side of the moon except on videos taken by NASA. So it's kind of a weird thing. Red, I believe that's a possibility as well, but that would be the natural, that would be the most likely natural explanation. I'm talking about the most likely, our creator made this for us type of thing. I mean, this is crazy. That moon is artificial as shit. There ain't no other moons like that. And we got one moon. Everybody else, how many moons you got over here? Oh, I got 1,000 moons over here. We got one moon. One. Just one. One. And it's on this crazy elliptical orbit, that this elliptical orbit that always changes, but yet it always stays the same. It provides just the right amount of draw to give our Earth the amount of tidal action necessary to create life. It's just too damn rare, dude. Seriously. The chance of our moon ending up like this in an orbit where it doesn't spin, in an orbit where it's perfect size to just block out the sun and nothing else. When you start looking at all of the impossibilities, it is mathematically impossible for the moon to naturally occur. It just goes beyond any equation. Yeah. Yeah, the problem, right? Yeah, with going to the moon. I mean, you get there, but you have to have enough. You have to have enough fuel to get up to speed, and then slow back down when you get back to Earth. Hey, Brandon. Yeah, I don't know. I believe that the moon was put there on purpose. Now, how that happened, whether it's God or the gray aliens or the guy that has us in a petri dish in his laboratory, whatever it is, whoever it is, that moon was put there, dude. I really believe that. Oh, yeah, hurricanes have been around forever. I mean, I love when people say, we didn't have these bad storms 100 years ago. And I'm like, really? Have you ever heard of the Great Galveston Storm of 1900? I've read the book. I can tell you about it. That storm was bad. That was a 4 or a 5 that came into Galveston. The stories are heartbreaking. Then we had the big one that came across Florida in the 1920s. Killed a bunch of people, thousands of people. It sloshed the water out of Lake Okeechobee, thank you very much, and killed thousands of people. So I know that these storms, these really bad storms, we've got physical evidence that shows us that bad Category 5 storms have hit hundreds of years ago. You know, you can see damage in trees that still exist and things like that. We know that this stuff happens. Yeah, there's a lot of you can study the moon for a while. There's some fascinating stuff. Then if you really want to get into like the conspiracy of why we were going to the moon, going to the moon, going to the moon, not going to the moon no more. Haven't gone back in 56 years. Haven't gone back in 55 years. Why? Why have we not gone back to the moon? All I know is the last mission to the moon photographed something that looked like C-3PO's head down in the bottom of that crater. Look up Data's head, Richard C. Hoagland, and you'll find it. And well, I'll pull the damn thing up. Hold on. I'm in a weird mood tonight. I don't know what it is. I think I just got a lot in my head right now. Let me pull this up right here. Boy, they have suppressed this man's shit like you wouldn't believe. God, guys, they're scrubbing it or something. I think it was Apollo 17. No. Incredible. Guys, I swear to God, it's been scrubbed off the internet. This is bizarre to me, guys. It's something that has. I could put this up and it would show me 50 of them. All right, let me try something else here. All right, here we go. So here it is. So, well, what mission was this? What is it? Apollo? I think it was the last one, whatever it was, 16, 17, whatever it was. Anyway, they're up there on the moon, and they are going by this crater, and they see something down in the crater, and they tell NASA something. Go to another channel, and they go to another channel that we can't hear. And when they're on that channel, they're there for about 5 minutes, then they go off mission. They go 25, 30 minutes off mission. Then suddenly everything comes back on, the camera comes back on, everything's back on, and they're heading back for the thing, and everything's good. They load up, they blast off, they take off, they head back to Earth. Now, what did they see? I mean, they had 3 more missions planned. They already had the rockets built for the next one. The LIM was built. There was already stuff being built for the next one, and the next one after that, they had already laid the keel. So it's a little bit crazy when you think about that. They had 3 missions that they had already started working on that they didn't do. Okay, and now all these missions that they didn't do, and then we get this picture. They did this picture, and a lot of people believe that this, whatever is in this picture, scared them to the point that they said, we're not going back. We don't need to go back. We're not going back, whatever. So here it is. I'm going to show you. You can believe it or not believe it, okay? But I believe it. I do. I absolutely do. Let me center this a little better. Hold on. God bless. I don't know who designed this thing, but it is a pain in the ass. I guess it's a pretty complicated thing that it has to do, but oh, son of a bitch. it's going to do it over here somehow. This pisses me off so bad. Alright, here it is. Now, again, you can totally blow this off and say it's bullshit. Okay. But that's what it is. They saw this. This image was taken in that crater that was right there when they went off camera. They went off camera, they went off comms, and they did something off mission. They returned to Earth, and they scrub everything going forward. No longer going to the moon. The Russians don't go to the moon. Nobody goes to the moon. Anybody that's tried to go to the moon has not been successful. You want to talk about conspiracies, okay? This is a true conspiracy. This is the kind of conspiracies I talk about. Not crazy shit like all these, we didn't go to the moon and George Bush blew up the buildings and all this. But this one here, this is one that I believe that something happened up on that moon that scared us away from going back. What could that have been? Yeah, the solar activity's been pretty quiet. And yeah, this was 17. Thank you, Dom. This was 17. Yeah, I do believe the sun affects terrestrial weather more than they believe it does, and more than they understand. For sure. For sure. And Red, you're probably right about the Chinese. Yeah. So I don't know, but that's the kind. If you want a conspiracy to look into, this is it. There's been a book written about this by Richard C. Hoagland. He is a regular on Coast to Coast with George Norrie. I've listened to them for years talk about this particular head and the big mystery that surrounds the whole thing. It's pretty cool. And apparently we got some big fires burning in the Amazon rainforest at this point. Growing concerns over the deforestation and also smoke impacts. If a forest gets too thick and it burns too hot, it ends up killing all the trees. Does that mean there'll never be a forest again? No, but it means there'll be 30, 40 years before it's back to where it's a full-size hardwood forest, and maybe in some places 100 years before it gets back to the way it was. So it sucks. But the best way to do this is to do smaller burns and keep the underbrush burned out. This is the problem in California. Californians have decided that we don't want to burn. We don't want to do controlled burns. Here in Florida, we control burn. We do back burns, control burns, all kinds of different strip burns where they do all this. I used to participate in it myself when I was a firefighter years ago. And we'll burn out areas of woods that haven't been burned in 10 or 15 years. We'll go ahead and we'll back burn them on a day when it'll burn really slow. And that way it doesn't destroy the trees. It doesn't destroy anything. Yes, they did have it. I believe that was a two-parter called Time's Arrow. Oh, God. I don't know. It all comes in. I don't know. And that was where they went to that planet, and the aliens, you couldn't really see them because they were like in multiphasic space. They used trialic waves in order to create pockets of this space. It's a decent episode. Time's Arrow was never one of my favorite episodes. I hate to admit it, but it's a good episode. It is a two-parter, not a strong two-parter, nothing like Best of Both Worlds or even some of the other two-parters, or my favorite two-parter of all time from Voyager, The Year of Hell, best two-parter ever. But yeah, and that episode was called Data's Head, and something that happens in that episode that screws me up, his head goes back in time 400 years, Then they find his head 400 years later. He examines his head before his head actually gets blown back because it has to. It has to complete the loop, right? So he actually investigates his own head being found before the incident that sends his head back in time. So then they take this old head that's 400 and something years old now. I mean, I know Soon was good at building shit, but come on, right? They take this head that's 400 and freaking years old now, and they put it on his body, and oh, he's walking around, everything's fine. I'm like, okay, 400 years, really? That's some good shit, man. Yes, yeah, forest maintenance has been around longer than you know. It really has. And when you stop maintaining your forests, you end up just like California. There's two things they do in California. One of them we kind of do here, and that's build houses right up on the woods. But we have something. They have something in California we don't have here, and that's hills and valleys and mountains. Mountains up the ante because fire burns twice as fast up a hill as it burns down a hill. So if you've got a house at the top of the hill, your house is specifically susceptible to fire because no matter which way the fire approaches, it's going to be coming fast. And in Florida, we don't have that problem. We are very flat here. Very flat. Also, we do prescribed burning. We maintain our forests. We have we maintain fire breaks. And we have a very good active forestry service, which they also have in California. But our Florida Forestry Service is here, and they've got 6 or 8 tractor units here in town and firefighting trucks. And so when your local fire department goes out on a brush fire, they get a full response also from the forestry department. And so it, they can normally get them under control pretty quick, and that's a good thing. Okay, boy, that Coastal Watch camera was almost worthless, but I'm not going to be on much longer, guys. I'm really hurting. I was looking for other protests, and the only ones I can find is this thing going on, and I don't even know what's going on here. Is somebody standing in the back of a truck with a microphone? Yeah, we're here almost every night, guys. I've been trying to come in every night. Where is this? Oh, Serbia. They're burning shit down in Serbia. Alright, I'll bite. This one up here is useless. So let's go ahead and I don't normally put up like cameras from Serbia and shit, but let's entertain it. This is live in Serbia. It's a great place to visit, I guess. This is Belgrade. Belgrade, Serbia. There we go. This is a loop, so apparently it's not live, but that's alright. Let's see here. What else we got going on? Apparently there was a protest today about a ruling on stray dogs in South Carolina. But I don't have anything live from that. And again, the Federal Detention Center. It's a protest. There's 3 of them out there again. It's not a protest if your friends won't come and show up. I don't know. It's almost like people are, they're literally protesting and rioting for the strangest things. Anyway, all right, so nothing else there. Oh, man. I am tired. Let's get back over here and let me turn on. Multi-site radar. I did. I was trying to find radar out of Bahamas or something. I know there's not in. I know there's not one in Haiti. All right, I don't know. There's nothing seems to be live coming out of there right now. Okay, guys. What do we got out there? What's going on? Anything else you guys know of that's going on? Oh, it is a Mountain Dew stocked fridge. I've got about, I think I got 8 2-liters in there. Yeah, you can never have enough Mountain Dew on standby. And of course, over the last 4 years, with the economy going to shit, it's not Mountain Dew anymore. It's Mountain Lightning from Walmart because I can get it for $1 a jar, $1 a bottle. Mountain Lightning. I think that's what it's called. That's right. I mean, your piss should glow, or you're not drinking enough Mountain Dew. Um, I don't. I hate to plead ignorance. I don't know what they're protesting over. Let me see if I can figure that out real quick because I'm kind of interested in. In Belgrade, Serbia, protesters are demanding early parliamentary elections and the resignation of Interior Minister Iveka Dakakaka following recent violence at demonstrations. They also accuse the government of stifling democratic freedoms and are calling for an end to what they perceive as authoritarianism under President Alaskan Skarbevaka. And the protests were initially sparked by railway station collapse in Novi Sad, which became a symbol of widespread corruption, but have since evolved into a broader movement against the government. So it's their government basically collapsing on itself. Well, I can't. I have not heard Elon say that. I can't believe he would say that because I don't think he believes that. Yeah. Dr. Thunder. I know that these stupid names that they got. At least Winn Dixie was just screw it. They're all Czech soda. Just deal with it. Um, okay. All right, guys. Let's see what else we got going on. We got a number of folks in here. I just want to let everybody know that this is Starship Adventures. I got half the studio turned off tonight, but I'll go ahead and pull it up so everybody can see it. I'm still working on camera angles because I installed this fridge here and now this camera angle doesn't work as well. So that camera is going to be going over just a little bit more and it's going to have a little bit different view, I think, eventually. Everything else is still working. I've got 4 computer systems completely shut down over there because I'm waiting on a new version of the software. Jake has been working on this software and he has completely done a whole new version. He's rolled out a whole new thing, and in the next couple of days I'm going to get it and I'm going to fire these computers back up and I'm going to try it. But I figured since I'm not doing anything with them, I'm just going to power them down for a few days and save the power. My electric bill here runs about $350 to $375 a month during the summer, and about half that much in the winter. We don't use heat. I have a little teeny heater that's about this big that goes in my bedroom, and I used it one night last year and 2 nights the year before. So heat's not a thing here. So in the wintertime, I'm saving money. I'm saving money because I don't have to run my air conditioner and I'm not using the heater. So I love wintertime here. My electric bill will drop to about $165, something like that, during the winter months, and then back up to $350. It's been as high as $400. So yeah, it's crazy. Um, Zero Coke. If it's zero Coke, I can't believe it's got a flavor. I mean, whatever. Uh, I'll tell you, I love Coke. I know I drink Mountain Dew, but I've always been a Coke kid. I was a Coke kid growing up. Not that kind of Coke, you dirty-minded people. But I've always loved my Coca-Cola, and I got to tell you, when they went to the new Coke, that shit was choke and gag, man. Nobody liked it. I think to this day, and remember, I'm a Coke fan. To this day, I think that's probably one of the shittiest, worst, dumbest product rollouts that there has ever been in corporate history. New Coke. There was nothing wrong with old Coke. You know what? We were driving around town, my buddy and I. We were driving around town when that happened. This was years ago. We would drive around town and we were hoarding up bottles of Coke. We would go to a store and buy up all their Coke. And back at the fire station, we had like 40 bottles of Coke all under the counters. Like, what's all this Coke? Hey, man, they're not making it no more. And I'm not drinking that new Coke shit because it's bad. So we were literally hoarding it up. And then about the time our hoard started getting close and we were starting to get worried, what are we going to do? We're going to run out of Coke. We're all going to die. So all of a sudden they came out with Coke Classic. And that's how they saved themselves. Coke Classic. Yeah, Pepsi Clear. They've all got these gimmicks. Pepsi One or Pepsi Zero, whatever one you guys just said a minute. Yeah, Zero. I don't know. Some people like some of them. I don't know. I generally don't like anything but the original on stuff. I like Pepsi. I don't want cherry Pepsi, vanilla Pepsi, super Pepsi, diet Pepsi. I don't want it. I just want Pepsi. And if I want Coke, I want Coke. To me, they're two very different drinks. I love when someone tells me Coke and Pepsi taste the same to me. Then I tell them, your tongue doesn't work. Those are two completely different drinks. Oh, I would do a poll on that. Here we go. Now we'll know. Now we'll know for sure. We need to know. Coke and Pepsi, do they taste the same, a little different, or completely different? Yeah, New Coke was bad. I don't know. Okay, how many? I think. Oh, let me put this back on the grid. I'm sorry, guys. I didn't mean to leave you on the studio. How many people do you think? How many people do you think would taste something like that before they decided to retool all their factories and start making it? Yep. Yeah, that was a long time ago. Oh my God. Yeah, New Coke pissed me off too, like I said. uh, oh man, Roach Cola. I got to tell you, RC Cola was always bad, no matter what. Yeah. Oh yeah, I bet Houston. I bet Houston's the same exact power curve we have here. Um, well, and also I will tell you, I prefer them both really cold. The colder the better. I don't like them warm, and I don't like them flat. That's why I drink Mountain Dew. Everybody says, "Why do you like Mountain Dew?" I don't like lemon lime drinks that much, but I always thought Mountain Dew had a neat taste. I liked it. It was crisp. But you know what keeps me coming back to Mountain Dew? This can sit out in my car and get warm. And if I have to, I'll drink it. It can be flat. It can be kind of not cold anymore. I'll drink it. I don't care. Coca-Cola or Pepsi, when they're in one of these containers and they're sitting in your car and you come out and it's room temperature or it's flat, it's like turpentine. I can't stand it. It's like, ugh. Roach Cola is definitely an acquired taste. And I never acquired the taste. I'm not going to say anything bad about it because a lot of people love it. It was good soda. But I just never acquired the taste for it. Squirt, I remember Squirt. A&W, my mother's favorite root beer. And yeah, I can't drink water. That's mostly for the toilet. But I do drink other things. Sometimes I buy apple juice. I literally will buy a gallon of apple juice. Just once a day, I'll have a big glass of apple juice. I do different things. When I'm at work, we have a Coke machine at work, a fountain machine that's free. They provide that to us at the broadcast center. Great folks there, I got to tell you. Really, it's a great place to work. And I go there, and they got Coke. Real Coke in a vending machine, in a soda machine, a fountain machine, and I love that. That's so good to be able to get just regular Coke and have it really cold and come right out like that. All the sugar and twice the caffeine. There you go. Jolt. I remember that. I know some people like water. Water is just a distasteful shit. It's just, there's nothing redeeming about it. It's just disgusting. And you know what I think's worse than water? Flavored water. You know, if you make something really, really, really weak and shitty, they call it flavored water. I've never tasted a flavored water that I could stomach. It's always weak. I like soda. I like to taste my drinks, and I'm a sweet tea guy. But I don't drink a lot of sweet tea because if I make tea and I sweeten it and then I have to use a couple of pink sweeteners because I don't taste the sugar, and it's not good. The Mountain Dew, I don't sweeten it. I just drink it just the way it is, and that's how you got to do it. I think we might have just got an update here. What happened? I think we did. Yeah, we just got an update. They're now showing it Cat 3 through 8 p.m. on Thursday. They're forecasting it now to stay a Category 3 for 3 days and nights. Oh, there we go. Our wind field just popped back on. When it does that, when it disappears and it starts popping back up, that means we just got an update. And sure enough, it's 10:44 p.m. The 11 o'clock update is dropping now. So let me go see if I've got that graphic yet. Let me check the wires, as they call it. Oh yeah, they're early getting that one out. That sumbitch was early. Well, there you go, guys. There's your 11 o'clock forecast from the National Hurricane Center in Miami, Florida. 11 p.m. We're now on Eastern Daylight Time. We've been tracking this thing in Atlantic Daylight Time. I'm sorry, Atlantic Time. Now we're in Eastern Daylight Time because the storm has moved into our time zone now. And the current location, 24.4 north and 71.7 west. Maximum sustained wind, 125. Movement northwest at 8. That's northwest at 8 miles an hour, and it's going to take on more of a north-northwest component over the next 24 hours. And there you go. You can see the Outer Banks of North Carolina, as well as a number of the islands in the Bahama Island chain, all under tropical storm watches. That's what the yellow is. And then the blue here, the lower islands are on a tropical storm warning. No hurricane warnings because nobody's getting hit by a hurricane. And everybody should be far enough away that the maximum winds will be under 75 miles an hour. That means we don't have to issue any hurricane warnings. And that's basically how that works. All right, let's see here. Okay, and that's that. That's the latest, and that's really all we're going to get as far as the latest information. So I'll kill that. Oh shit! I just realized I never put it on for you guys. Here it is. Here's the new one. It looks the same. 11 p.m. Advisory number 31. There it is, and you can see the yellow there on the Outer Banks. And yeah, there's all your info, and you can see here. Expecting it to stay a major hurricane as it comes up here. This is where it's going to make its closest pass right here, and they're expecting it to be a Cat 3 hurricane. So whatever the distance is here is how much damage we're going to end up with up on the Outer Banks. So that's kind of what we got to look at here is what's the distance going to be from the center of circulation to the Outer Banks, to the islands. They are evacuating certain islands in the Outer Banks. Believe it or not, they are. So even though this is going to be pretty far off the coast, there's still quite a bit of concern about a foot or two of sea level rise, as well as swells, rip currents, and of course actual wave action on top. I mean, it's going to be a lot of different things, a lot of energy coming at the coast. I'm also, to be honest, I'm not really comfortable with these threes right here, because I got 2 or 3 models right now that deepen this thing way down into a 4 again, and it's already been a 5. So down here you can see, I think, is that still on screen? No, I don't guess it is. Why can't you see me writing on the screen? That's weird. Huh. That's weird. I can, my telestrator is not working over on this screen. However, Radar Omega has a telestrator that is working. So there you go. But yeah, down here, you kind of can't hardly see it, but right down here, that's where it was Cat 5 right there. Briefly, it held Cat 5 status. And then now it's a 3 and then a 4. And now it's back down to 3 right now. But I would not be surprised if somewhere in this zone here, it briefly, at least briefly, strengthens back up to a Cat 4, meaning that the impacts along the coast could be more because this thing is going to come in. And the good news here, as this goes by, your winds are going to wrap around this thing. It's one thing when you're on the bad side of one of these storms, but in this case here, we're actually on the good side. As the storm is sitting here, the winds are going to be coming in like this. That's not a worst case scenario. Okay, it could bring in a few feet of rise, depending on how your coast is lined up. But I don't see, if it spun the other way, it would be a little more dangerous. But because as it goes by, the winds will be coming down from the north like this onto the land. Okay, so that's not the worst case scenario, basically, is what I'm getting at. But it'll still fill all these estuaries and stuff with water down here because of, and we could see some local inundation. And I think that's why a lot of these believe it or not, evacuation orders have been issued for the Outer Bank Island chain for much of it. Yeah, I have to admit at this point I have to yield to the models. There and here I'll pull up tropical tidbits. The consensus along the models is amazing right now. Here, let me show you. This is the current model consensus for the GEPS. They've run this and run this and run this, and look how tight the grouping is. Remember, what we're looking at is how tight this grouping is right here. You see how tight it stays? The farthest out one is here, and the farthest out one is here. That's a very small. That's small. I mean, that's amazing that it's actually keeping up like this. And guess what? It's not just that one. Here is the ERIN model track guidance. This one here, or I'm sorry, Jesus Christ. This is the model track guidance. This is all the major models on one screen. You can see the names of them here. This is pretty much all of the major models on one screen. And look at that. Look how tight that forecast is. From there to there. I mean, here's Bermuda right here. So we're relatively sure this thing's literally going to split the difference between the mainland and Bermuda. So both places will get some effects, but nobody's going to get anything that bad. That's pretty amazing that it's going to do that. But this shows you how tight the grouping is. These models are relatively sure. Here's the GFS models. This is the American models. When they run these over and over and over and over, look how tight this pattern is. So I guess what I'm getting at is I don't see any possibility of a wild left turn. I just don't. I don't see it. It can't. The steering currents are just too strong. If there was a chance, if there was a chance of it making a wild left turn, we would see outlier models that are showing it going that way. We would see 2, 3, 4 outliers, and everything else would go the other way. When you don't see any outliers in any of the models, and they're all showing groups like this, I would bet money that this is going to go out to sea and not hit. And I don't bet because my money's important. Well, the Bermuda Triangle is east of Florida. It's a part of the Atlantic Ocean. I can pull up a graphic to demonstrate it, but let's see. The Bermuda Triangle is another amazing I don't want to call it a conspiracy, but another amazing thing that you can research. It's pretty amazing to look at it when you look at it. All right, here we go. There's the Bermuda Triangle, and it includes the Bahamas, much or most of the Bahamas, and it goes down to Puerto Rico and goes up that way, and it's believed that it's actually one of many triangles around the world. There's a lot of, oh shit, I did it again, guys. There's the Bermuda Triangle for you. I'm sorry I didn't hit the button. The more tired I get, the less I hit the buttons right. But there you go. That's the Bermuda Triangle from Florida to Puerto Rico to Bermuda. And there you go. Yeah, Bermuda gets the dirty side of this storm, but the thing is they're going to be pretty far away. I don't think it's going to be too bad. This is a theory here. Let me see if I can get it to come up here. God, I hate Instagram. The 12 vile vortices of Earth. These areas are known for electromagnetic and gravitational anomalies. You see, it's not just it's not just where you think it is. It's here. Now I'm pulling this up so you guys will see it. I just got to get it to where it'll come up. Yeah, here we go. All right, so I'll read this to you while I show you this. But these people, there's people out there that believe that this is all part of like a bigger system here. And here's the map. I'll show you that. And now I don't know if there's anything to this. I haven't really researched this too much myself. But what they're saying is that these triangles actually exist all over the planet, and they're all aligned with equilateral triangles. And it has to do with balancing forces along the planet. The Bermuda Triangle is the best known of these vortices. So a lot of people believe that there's a lot of these, and they're equally spaced around the planet. And of course you can see there's Bermuda right there. That's our triangle. And they're saying that this is why these phenomena happen all over the Earth. It has something to do with gravitational fields, which I can't personally say that I can write off. There has been a lot of stuff happen in this area, and then it's stuff that people have a hard time explaining. I don't know what it is. I have no idea what it is. All right, let me just double check. This thing's quit, so let me go ahead and pull that back up again. Every now and then I have to reset. It so that it will give me the alerts again. Okay, and that's it. There's no severe thunderstorm warnings anywhere in the country. No tornado warnings. No nothing. There you go. It's quiet tonight. It could be bullshit. Could be. Haven't researched it. Don't have a horse in that race. I'm not convinced that the Bermuda Triangle has necessarily a much higher number of these strange incidents as other areas. But it does seem like that. But then again, we get things in our head sometimes, and the numbers won't bear it out. Um, no, no, Coco. People go right through the Bermuda Triangle to this day. I mean, people go right through it. It's no one routes around it. And I can tell you right now that even right now, there's going to be planes flying right through it. That's why I'm saying it's not something that affects everything or a lot of things. I don't know how to explain it, but let's see here. Okay, so let's have a little fun with science here. All right. Where's Bermuda? Okay, here we go. I love fun with science. Let's do fun with science tonight. Just gonna let me do this. Nope, that's all right. We'll do it the old-fashioned way. Here we go. Bermuda to here. That's pretty much it, right? I mean, I know my lines are terrible. Um, Let me take a look back over here. Where does it go? Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's it. So, okay, so if we go back to, where did it go? God bless America. I wish I could draw better lines, guys, but I can't. The line thing doesn't work. But if you go down here, you got this one, and this one. That's, I know it doesn't look like a triangle, but that's, you know what? Maybe did I not go far enough? I think my problem is, hold on. We're doing this on the fly, obviously. Oh, that's what it is. I'm not going near far enough out. Okay, so I got to zoom out more. Okay, so we're looking more like, here's Bermuda, and it goes down to here, and then to here, and then to here. That's the Bermuda Triangle. Okay, so you can see planes flying right through it. The flight radar we're looking at here, that's live. So there you go. So yeah, I mean, planes do fly through it, and all the time. Is it a big flight route? No, it's not. If you look at it, it really isn't. It is kind of weird that it's one of the more blank areas that's near a coastline, but I just think that's because of where it is. You don't get a lot of flights out of Cuba or Haiti. So, but that's, like I said, this is a live flight map. So there's probably about 10 planes right now inside the Bermuda Triangle. That's not a lot if you think about it. That's really not. I mean, the more I'm looking at this, I'm like, you know what? There is not a lot of planes flying through there. But I'm sure that's just because of the way the routes work and everything. I don't know. What do you guys think about that? Because I don't know what to think about that. I don't know if Sully's the captain. I'll go down in water. Um, Yeah, it's one of those things. It's extremely rare for something to happen there, but maybe not quite as rare. Maybe it's not as rare as other places. Um, I don't know. I don't know if their logo came from Bermuda. That's interesting. Um, yeah, I mean, they found a lot of the planes that have gone missing. They found whole squadrons of planes that have gone missing. And there's mystery surrounding what happened. Um, People get turned around out there and they fly till they run out of fuel. And that happens to a lot of them. But what causes the confusion? What causes the instrument malfunctions, the radio failures, the all the different things that happen out there? Everything's electromagnetically connected. Hey, Rupal. Thanks for coming in tonight. We're talking about the Bermuda Triangle. I'm getting ready to sign off in a few minutes, guys. I'm very tired. For those that don't know, my mom's in the hospital, and it's a rough time for my family right now. It's pretty serious. There's a chance for recovery. We're looking forward to that. Um, I went on a rant earlier. I still have not spoke to a patient advocate in 3 days about my mother, what's wrong with her, what we're going to do with her, where she's going to go, how she's going to get there. Um, so yeah, I'm not going to go into that again. But hospitals, man, they do great at treating patients a lot of times, but they don't do good when it comes to communicating with family. All right, let's see here. Yep, Heath, I'm trying to keep my chin up. It's difficult, but I'm there. I'm not a depressive kind of guy. I can usually get through it. Um, it's difficult right now. I've had a lot of big changes in my life recently, and people moving on and moving out, and moving away, and uh, getting ill, and it's just a lot of changes going on in my life and other people's lives around me. Um, yeah, me too. Um, yeah, we're hoping for the best. There'll be a lot of rehab, a lot of recovery, and it's going to be a long road, but we're going to get there. That's all I can say. Um, all right, I'm trying to think if there's any. Is there anything else you guys would like me to touch on or mention before I shut it down? I'm coming up on 2 hours, and I'm hitting the wall here, guys. Yeah, no, I appreciate that. I do. No, and I don't feel alone. I got you guys, and that means a lot to me. Um, I love YouTube, and I love the family on here, and I love the camaraderie. And I've made friends on YouTube that I have today. So, YouTube's a great thing. So, thank God I have that. And I don't make it a secret. I want to get on here full time and do this and make a living and move to the mountains and just take you guys with me everywhere. That's my plan. This whole show's going to go on the road. And then eventually, if I can get to where I'm making decent money, I'm buying a van and I'm putting solar panels on the roof and I'm going. I'm going across the country. And I'm going to take you guys with me the whole way. I'm going to build the whole vehicle. Radios, computer editing bay, the whole bit, all in a big, like a plumbing van. And no kitchen, no bathroom, just an editing bay and a bed and a bunch of batteries and some solar panels. And that is my plan. I got to get to the cabin first and get my studio set up there. And then if the money comes in, you never know where you're going to be on money. I already own properties there and here and everything. So I don't need to buy any property. So if I start doing good, I can go ahead and get a van and start traveling. And that's kind of my plan. I would love to just every day stop at a new place and do the show from there that night. Talk about the place that I'm at, show you where I'm at, go over the news, do the weather, do the traffic, do like I do now, but do it from different locations every night. Um, yeah, well, we do. We especially keep it positive around her. It's set in today how bad her situation is, and she's going. She went into some depression, some pretty bad depression today, and they're working with her on that. Um, yeah, it's the third. Well, if we go now, it was Mom and I that were going, and we may not be going now. Um, so if we go, we're looking at the third week in October, the first week in December, and then probably a week in February and a week in April. But the first one will be the third week in October. We like the third week in October because if you look climatologically, it is the best likelihood to get a good color change out of the leaves in Blairsville, Georgia. Um, the best time to come is like the 17th of October or something. So we always plan it for that third week in October because born and raised in Florida, we only have two seasons here, green and brown. And up there, there's four beautiful seasons up there. And I love to go up and experience the different seasons. That's why we do a fall and two winters and a spring because we like the seasons. Um, a Stone Mountain Ham Fest. Um, it's a weekend close to my birthday on the 3rd of November. I think by the 3rd we'll be home. I think we'll be long home by the 3rd, but that's interesting. We're actually on the way up now. This may change now again, but our plan was to go to Stone Mountain, Georgia. We wanted to go back up on the rock one more time. Um, as a kid, I was up on that rock two or three times. I went up again as an adult, and I'd like to do it one more time. I love Stone Mountain, Georgia. Um, it's just a big old rock that pushed up out of the ground, and it's a big ass rock. I mean, from up there you can see Atlanta. You can see like 3 states from up there. It's pretty crazy. Um, yeah. Well, and that's the other thing. I'm going to be taking some cats, and I'll have cats. So I mean, there'll be considerations. If I get down to one cat, then I could probably take one cat with me, and we could do it. But I don't know. We're going to see where it all goes. But even if I just do the van 3 days a week or something, and just leave the cats at home, I can do that, and I can go out for 2 days, come back. I want to see as much of the country as I can, and I want to do how these guys are doing it, where they make YouTube on the road, and the road pays for YouTube, and YouTube pays for the road, and the road pays for YouTube. That's what I want. I don't want to get rich. I want to be able to see the country, and I want to bring you guys with me. And I want to have the van all set up with cameras and lots of live streaming. I'm not going to get into my personal stuff and all that, but I mean, as far as I'm going to live stream everywhere I go, what I do, and then the 9 o'clock show at night. Even I would like to still do that every evening. I'll be in my van, and we'll do the show if I'm out. If I'm at the cabin, we'll do it at the cabin. I'll have a studio set up there. Um, hot in Hades. I love it. I don't know where the cats are tonight. Let me see if any of them are out here. I think Ed's in the bedroom. Eddie's in the bedroom, and Mama is out in the rain. So you're all wet, Mama. You don't even care that you're all wet, do you? Like a wet dish rag. That's right, Mama Kitty. This is Mama Bleeper. We call her that because her tongue is always hanging out. Is it hanging out right now? Oh, it's not. I wonder if she's sick. Um. Uh, oh, really? Buford T. Justice. You know, what we're dealing with here is a complete lack of respect for the law. I want to tell you something. Smokey and the Bandit, when we were growing up, was one of our favorite movies. We loved that movie. I love Jackie Gleason. I love Burt Reynolds. I love Sally Field. Had a little crush going for her. I was always the girl next door kind of guy, and I loved Sally Field. And I just always just loved that movie. I love the truck driver. I love everything about that movie. And to this day, if that movie's on, I will stop and watch it to the end. I can't help it. We've been to 6 or 7 shooting locations. I've got some of them up on my channel. I've been to the Kissing Bridge in Helen twice. I've been to the rock shop where they did the big turnaround out in the mountains. I've been there a bunch of times. And we've been to 2 or 3 other places where they shot different scenes from that movie. A lot of that movie, most of that movie was shot in Georgia. Quite a bit of it was shot in Georgia. Great movie. Judge Judy, I love it. Oh, Mama Katie. She's a lover. This cat was a feral cat when she came up. Feral. Showed up with kittens. We helped her raise the kittens. Next thing you know, she's not feral no more. She just loves us to death now. It just took us getting over that hump. And we were helping her take care of her kittens. And she just, on a dime, she turned. And now she's a lovable cat. She just loves people. And of course now she's fixed, so she don't have to worry about going through that mess again, do we? No, hell no. Hell no, Mom Kitty. It is one of the better movies ever made. I will admit the sequels went downhill. 2 is watchable, 3 is not. It got really bad. But that first one is just an amazing flick. Absolutely amazing movie. And Jackie Gleason, you know, everybody always talks about the bandit. Jackie Gleason made that movie. I mean, he just made that movie. There's some dated references in there and stuff, but he made that movie, in my opinion. You know. Give me a Diablo. I'm in a goddamn hurry. Oh my God. He's guilty of a Mann Act. Oh, I love me some Jackie Gleason. Oh. I don't know why people abandon their pets. We had assholes that lived in this rental property, catty corner to us. They put the bird out in the garbage. They put the cage in the garbage. She's still in the cage. They stack shit around the cage, hoping, I guess, the garbage people would just take her away when they picked up all the garbage from their put out. That bird lives with us now. It lives with me now. I'm not a bird guy. A tick turd. A little tick turd. That was from the second movie, I think. He saw it on the dashboard. He goes, little tick turd. The funniest is the interaction between him and his son. Oh my God. I would go, Daddy, I'm not ever leaving home. Don't you ever threaten your daddy like that again. Get in the car, Junior. Get in the car, Junior. Oh, Mr. Ed. Yeah, I never watched Mr. Ed, but I'm familiar with it. The talking horse. Oh God, I love Smokey and the Bandit. Everything's quotable in that movie. Everything's quotable in that movie. Hello, Mr. Bandit. I got a Smokey report for you. Oh Lord, that was a great movie. If you guys have never seen Smokey and the Bandit, that's five demerits, and you immediately have to go find it and watch it, and then you get the demerits come back off. Oh man, you got to watch that one. That's a good movie. It's old, but yet it's blissfully dated, meaning that the dating is fun in it. I love it. I love the old cars, the old trucks, um, the old rotating light bars and everything. I don't know. I love it, and all the stupid shit that happens to Buford T. Justice. Well, that's awesome. You were able to get that fixed. Um, oh, really? Gleason and the Hustler. I forgot about that. Yeah, there you go. Ripping fats. Uh, well, not every year. Not every year. We don't talk about global warming every year, and I'll tell you why. Because um, from 1963 all the way to about 1985, they felt that we were going to have an ice age, and they told us we should start storing power, and that we were all going to die, and all this kind of stuff. And then they changed it to global warming, and then they changed it to global changing, and global this, and climate change, and climate disruption, and all these different names. It's because if you don't really define what's going on, then you don't really know if it's going on or not. Well, and that's what's going on. Here's the thing: we don't know what's going on. All right. They said for years that we were warming. They said the years before that we were cooling. Well, guess what? We're starting to cool again. We're starting to see climatologically that we're starting to slow down. The heating has stopped, and now we're starting to see a regression. Um, Ice melting and things like that have arrested. And I think what we're seeing is just another cycle. These are just cycles that go on. And people panic over cycles. They've always panicked over cycles. Remember acid rain? Acid rain was going to kill us all. Acid rain, it comes down, it falls. Oh my God, it's acid rain. They used to make movies and shit about it, right? You don't even hear about acid rain today. It never happened. It was alarmism bullshit, right? What about the hole in the ozone layer? Do you guys remember the hole in the ozone layer? Um, I mean, they talked about that for a long time. Hold on just a second. See what that does. Okay, so basically, there's been so many things over the years that they said were going to kill us, and they didn't kill us. Matter of fact, none of it did. Acid rain, pollution. You guys remember the Indian crying? there'd be so much garbage on the side of the road that we wouldn't even be able to pull our car over because it would just be so much fucking garbage everywhere. Is there garbage anywhere? Pollution is less of a problem now than it's been when it comes to side of the road type pollution, garbage pollution, even air pollution. We're doing better now than we were 30 years ago, and much of it has nothing to do with regulation. It just has to do simply with everybody, with newer technology, better technology, more efficient technology taking over. It's not government regulation and alarmism that did it. It's just new technology that did it. They said, believe it or not, years ago, half of the U.S. lakes are becoming dangerously acidified. That was 35 years ago. Guess what? No, not so much. Air pollution will block sunlight and kill us all. This was made in the 70s, about the 2000s. They said that literally in 2000 there would be so much pollution in the air that light couldn't get through anymore, and that our crops would die and we would eventually all die. German media has warned about 25 years ago that acid rain was killing the rainforests outside of their towns in Germany, and that the forests would literally be gone in 20 years. Still there. Colder winters ahead. Here's a good one. 1972. Colder winters ahead. Dawn of the new ice age. Scientists warn there won't be enough heating oil by 2000. 1975 Newsweek article predicting drastic climate shifts. The cooling world. Cooling trends arouse fear of a new ice age coming. 1976. Is another ice age due? Arctic ice expands again. Late 70s. Major cooling may be ahead. The ice age cometh. Sensational 1975 news story forming the threat. Ice age, worst food crisis seen. Famine will be tied to the ice age, coming soon to a country near you. Space satellites now showing a new ice age is coming. Technology is now being used to justify the change. Scientists ask why world climate is changing. Major cooling is inevitable. Science warn of doom. A threat of a new ice age must stand alongside nuclear war, according to scientists in 1981. Even U.S. farms may be hit by this unusual cooling trend. Agriculture Times, 1980. Colder winters and polar ice persists. Ice age is coming. Mother Earth cooling. We're in for an ice age soon, according to broadcast specialists. NASA warns ice age may be triggered by pollution. Government agency citing an alarmed source. The same reason they're saying it's warming, they were saying it's cooling. World is growing feverishly colder by the day, according to world scientists. Guys, none of that ever happened. We started warming, remember? We were all going to die because it was going to be cold. Now we're all going to die because it's going to be warm, and now we're seeing the temperatures drop again. It's just another cycle. Ozone depletion. You guys remember that? Ozone depletion. It's going to kill us all. Our kids are doomed. Ozone depletion. The great peril of life. Early warnings of UV depletion. UV risks, I mean. The hole in the sky is killing polar bears. Wildlife used to dramatize the events by media. This is crazy. Runaway ozone hole could lead to global cancer pandemic by 1990. And then, of course, we get into global warming. It's kind of crazy when you think about it, because it's like, what are we doing here? I mean, Jesus. Oh, I really wish this thing would do what I asked it to do at least once. There we go. I did get my tablet case today and everything, and the adapter so I can charge it and hook stuff up. It works good. All right, global warming. Global warming at almost unpredictable magnitude, 1988. Earth has warmed dramatically. Something must be done. Greenhouse gases make the Earth uninhabitable by 2100. Arctic to become ice-free by the summer of 2015. That was the prediction in 1995. Children won't know what snow is. That was a prediction by a major newspaper. This is a good one here. Miami, Florida will have 2 feet of salt water in the streets from tidal rise by 2020. That was 5 years ago, if anybody's counting. Al Gore. Forest fires will consume half of the West by 2030. Well, it's trying, but it's not going to quite get to half of the West. We have 10 years to save the planet or it's all over. That as of 1983. In 1998, climate change certain. And human-caused warming is clear. That's what it says. And then we've got broader environmental collapse. The population bomb will kill millions. Remember, the next big one was we're overpopulated. Oh my God, we're overpopulated. There's going to be so many mouths to feed that we're all going to die. Do you remember that? Oh my God. There's 1 million people. We're going to be living on top of each other's roofs. There's not going to be enough room to live. The forests will all be full of people. There won't be any forests left. Oh my God, there's 1 million. Guess what happened, guys? We're almost at net neutral right now. Our population on this planet is hardly growing at this point. In the United States, if you take away all illegal immigration, our population is in decline. You heard me correctly. All first world countries at this point are in decline population. The only continent right now that's net positive is Africa. Europe, Eastern and Western Europe, population decline. The only reason their population's going up at all is because of people moving there, both legally and illegally. It's not happening. They said we were all going to die because there was going to be way too many mouths to feed and way too many people. It's not happening. The United States right now is neutral on population growth. Like I said, if we put up a big wall around the country, didn't let another person come in or out forever, okay, we would eventually die off. Because we're not producing enough people here in the United States to even replace ourselves at this point. Why is that? Because as a society becomes more civilized, becomes more technologically advanced, becomes more educated, they don't need 12 kids to go work the farm every morning. People go through their whole life and career without even having kids. And so the population begins to drop. A, because we don't need kids anymore. We only have them now if we want them. We don't necessarily need them. Okay? So we're not having near as many of them. And over here, birth control. Every year it gets better. It gets easier. It gets more efficient. Okay? And you've got... So no matter what you're looking at in both of these, it is reducing the population below the threshold where it's increasing at this point. So all that talk for 30 or 40 years from all these scientists telling us that we were all going to die because there was going to be way too many of us, guess what? It was all bullshit. It was all bullshit. They said in 1988 that planetary resources would literally be running out by the year 2000. It was an apocalyptic scenario. In 1992, they reported that famine in 10 years would be so bad that people would literally have to stop eating meat and that new dietary regulations would have to be made. These people don't know nothing. Peak oil in 2020. It was surmised in 1992 that by 2020 there would not be enough oil left on the earth, and that the wells would run dry and we would run out of oil. We would be past peak oil. The earth's making the oil. Newsflash, you can dig oil out of there until you're blue in the face. The planet just keeps making the oil. If one goes dry, you make the next one. You go back to the old one 10 years later. There's oil again because the earth is making the oil. It's making it. It's not just dinosaurs. There's a lot of processes involved here, and it's making it, okay? The earth's making this shit as we need it. Urban citizens will need gas masks. In 1985, they said that by 2010, we would wear gas masks to and from work, and that we would have to work indoors. They surmised in 1990 that by 2010, all freshwater fish in the world would be either extinct or nearing extinction. They also said that the bees were all dying off. In 1990s, the bees were all dying off, and by 2000, our pollinators would all be gone, and that there would be no way to pollinate nothing anymore, and that we would all slowly die because of it. Well, guess what? That didn't happen either. Although, yes, we have some challenges with our pollinators, they're hanging in there, dude. This world has a way of healing itself. I wish people would understand that. Extinction is actually a way of life here. There's been things going extinct every year, going back to the beginning. And there will continue to be something going extinct every day of every year going forward. Yes. Yes. I'm reading all your comments, and yes. China went up to a 3-child policy. That's a great one. Thank you for reminding me of that. China, who limited you to 1 or 2 children per household, per marriage, is now allowing 3. You want to know why? Their population is in dangerous decline right now. They're actually encouraging people to get pregnant in China because they want to keep that advantage of having the most folks. And they're losing that advantage quickly because of all of the birth control shit they've done over the years, limiting how many babies people can have and all that kind of stuff. There's just been so many sensationalized things over the years, so many things that were going to happen to us. I don't believe any of it, because the earth just keeps right on plugging away. Just about the time that someone thinks they've got it figured out, whether it be Jim Carrey or Jim Carrey, oh my God, I said Jim Carrey, that's the wrong Carrey, the other Carrey, that one, and Al Gore. Was it John Kerry and Al Gore and all these people? You know, they might have meant well at one time, but I mean, you have to realize by now that none of your predictions have come through. Al Gore said that water would be running 2 feet deep in the streets in Miami 5 years ago. We haven't seen a half an inch of tidal rise in 30 years. It's not happening. The earth is balanced, and we are just as natural here as anything else. Born here, raised here, shit here, die here. We're natural just like everything else, and this earth can handle it, and it's doing a good job. I should clip this and make a show out of it. I probably should. I'll be honest, I sometimes shy away from this topic because I'll lose friends over this topic, because global warming is a religion. People that believe in global warming believe that if you don't believe in global warming, that you're sacrilegious, you're the Antichrist, you're the reason we're all going to die. And so it's very hard to speak about climate change and global warming and climate disruption and all these things, because when you do, people will get mad and be pissed and go away. And it's like, dude, I'm talking facts here. These are facts. There's been no climate change other than the normal climate change. And everything equals out. That's why the tide's not going up. You'll say, "Oh, but yeah, but your mom's house flooded 3 times in the last 3 years. That's because of global warming." No, it's not. If that house was there in '60 during Donna, it would have had 2 feet of water in it too. It's a stroke of luck. It depends on when the storms hit. You can have 3 major storms in 3 years, like we've had, or you can go. The whole time I've been alive, up until Charlie, we didn't have any storms here. For 40 years, we had no storms here. It's a luck of the draw. And now we've had Charlie and Irma and Ian and them other 2 that I forget the name of. I got storms that flooded my mother's house, and I've already forgot the name of them. We've had so damn many of them. But they're the same storms we had at 1900. And when they start that bullshit about, but look how many more hurricanes we have today. We didn't have satellites back then. We weren't counting the hurricanes out in the ocean. We didn't have any good information unless a ship ran through it, and even that was hit and miss. So when you say we're getting more hurricanes now than we got in 1900, we know about more hurricanes now than we did in 1900. That doesn't mean a damn thing, because we were having just as many storms back then. Red, I've gotten that way too. The only reason I try to not get political on this channel is because I want to be friends with everybody. And I also, I do like to hear opposing points of view. I'm not one of these people that just absolutely honestly just comes out and believes I'm right and I don't want to hear any opposing view. I'm a debater. I love to debate. I love to get in on it. I love to figure it out. I love to deep dive it. And you can probably change your mind. If you're right and I'm wrong, you'll eventually change my mind, because I'm a logical thinking human being. But I try to stay away from the hardcore politics. You bring up Biden or Trump this or Biden or Trump that, and you're automatically a piece of shit. And I don't care. I talk about it at work. I don't want to talk about it here. There's been all kinds of different ice ages. Ice ages, that's another thing. They talk about, oh, it's going to be an ice age in 3 years or 5 years. Ice ages take hundreds of years to come on and hundreds of years to go away. We're talking about smaller cycles, not a full-blown ice age. So anyway, all right, let's see. What else am I going to tell you about? I'm still working on the chase vehicle. I've been just putzing around with it. I've got all the equipment here that I'm putting in it. I did upgrade the headlights to LED. I just bought these little jewels, and I'm going to put these in. And look at that, LED headlights. And because they're supposed to have LED headlights, but the ones that are in it are wrong. And so I bought a set of the right ones. But get this, the wrong ones that are in it are good bulbs. They're just the wrong ones. They work in the high beam headlights. So I'm moving the low beams to the high beams. I'm putting these in the low beams. And I just ordered a set for the fog lights, an LED set for the fog lights too. And I ordered LED taillights, LED marker lights, and LED turn signals for the front. So everything will be LED'd out. The bulbs are all messed up. They're all mismatched. They're all the wrong colors and things. And so I just decided to LED it out. The whole thing's under $50 to go ahead and buy all the LED lights I need to LED the entire car. No, the World Fair thing in Universal Studio, I'm not aware of any direct connection like that. I'm not aware of that. That thing was called the Unisphere that you're thinking of. And all that happened 35 years before Universal Studios. 30 years, something, yeah. I will probably be doing the road trip alone, sure. I might take Bleep with me. You want to go on a road trip? What you think? You want to go? It'll be fun. She's only left the house once, and that's when she went and got fixed. I see her tongue hanging out. Mama. Hey. See her tongue? Christ. I just love it. That's monkey. Yeah, I'll probably be going alone. I don't, I don't have anybody to go with, so yeah, probably just me. If I find somebody to go with, then I'll find somebody to go with. That'd be great. Um, yeah, I find it harder every year to debate people, especially politics, because what you find out is that a lot of times people, they really don't know anything about what they're yelling and arguing and screaming about. They know nothing. So when you start to debate them, it upsets them really bad because you're doing things like, I don't know, telling the truth, giving facts, making legitimate arguments. And when you do that, it upsets people that are unprepared. And it upsets people that are on, oh, I don't know, let's say the side that has the moral low ground, and you're on the side that has the moral high ground, and it don't last long. I mean, I immediately start like, okay, let's talk about this. So I say, okay, here's my first argument. This is this, and here's the facts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These are the facts. These are the dates. These are the times. And they stand up and go, screw you, and they walk out. That's how they debate nowadays. I call it drive-by debating. They literally, Mama, why are you doing that? They literally, the moment you hit them with facts, the moment that you're making sense, the moment that you seem to be the rational one in the conversation, they yell obscenities and run away. And I hate that. I hate that. It's like, if you're not going to argue, then just go away. But don't come to argue. Don't come to debate. Don't come to discuss. And then yell your 2 or 3 talking points and then flip me off and walk away. I mean, no, they don't. And that's the problem is a lot of it, and it's partially one party and mostly another party as well. The followers, they whatever pops up on Facebook, that's what they believe. Whatever they read on Instagram, that's what they believe. And the problem is most of that shit's garbage, especially when it comes to politics. They make statements. They have compared everything to Auschwitz and Hitler and all these things. And it's like, there's nothing on this earth today that can even come close to comparing to any of that shit. Are you kidding me? And yet they're always like, he's literally Hitler. It's literally Auschwitz down at Alligator Alcatraz. No, it's not. It's not. It's air conditioner getting 3 meals. They'll be treated a lot better at Alligator Alcatraz than they will be treated at the country they're going to be going home to. I hate that it's constant churning out of false information. And anytime you try to say, look, I have real information here, they don't want to hear it. If it goes against the narrative, they don't want to hear it. And this goes for both sides. I mean, there's people on both sides like this. It's not just one side. I hate the echo chamber. I might be one way on some things, and I might be another way on other things, because I go by what I feel, not by what party I'm in or what what affiliation I have. Nobody just, I don't know. People need to understand what they're talking about. If you're gonna come and argue a point, then you better be ready. It's like if you're gonna go do First Amendment stuff or Second Amendment stuff, and you're going to go challenge cops on the side of the road, by God, you better know your laws. You may be right. You'd be right in jail. You better know your laws. You better know what you're doing. It's like anybody else. If you're going to race a race car, you better know what you're doing or you'll be dead. Okay? It's like anything else. If you're going to be a fireman, you better know what you're doing. You're going to burn up the house. And it's that way no matter what. And I think it's something our society is losing. We're losing the ability to rationally think about things and to change our mind when new information is provided. And to have a new way to think about things that have been thought about a certain way for a very, very long time. like if someone asked you, and you didn't know, a lot of people don't know. You ask people, is the population on Earth going up right now? They'll, oh my God, yeah, it's exploding. No, it's not. It's not. It's not. Uh, if you took Africa and took it out of the equation, we within 20 generations. I mean, I'm telling you, there's going to be a time, not in our lifetime, but out 10 generations. Well, thank you, Red. I do really appreciate that. My number one fan. Thank you. I appreciate that so much. You have no idea. Thank you very much. And I do really appreciate that. You've been coming in for a while, too. I've been meaning to make you a moderator. I do really appreciate that, Red. The money will stay here in this room and will serve good purpose. Thank you very much. But yeah, I got to tell you, there's just so many things out there today that that are just assumed. They're just assumed. There's a lot of people that just assume global warming's happening because that's what they heard their buddies say. Or they just assume whatever. And I hate that. We got to challenge everything. You know? Don't ever take anything at face value. Some Mountain Dew. I will. Actually, it'll be Mountain Lightning. I recommend it. You know, Walmart's a pain in the ass, but it's still, I love Walmart, dude. Seriously. I love Walmart. It's a great place. It's a really, really great place. Does it suck? Yes. But it's still a great place. Well, sometimes you'll bring it up and I'll go crazy with it. That's kind of how it is here. Yeah. And I'm not saying that men and women have not had a negative impact on this planet. I'm not saying that. I'll have that argument with you guys. I actually think there's been some negative impacts on the planet. I do. It's nothing the planet can't handle, though. I bet. Walmart sucks here too, but it's still Walmart. It's cheap. I tell you, these headlights at AutoZone, the cheapest pair of LED headlights for my car at AutoZone were $100. I got these for 20 bucks. Amazon. That's why local retailers are going out of business. Why would I go in there and spend $100 on a set of headlights when I can go on Amazon and spend $20, and I had it here in 19 hours? I ordered it at 8 o'clock at night and I had it at 2 o'clock in the afternoon or whatever. The stuff you can get, I mean, look at this. Fog light, scene light, emergency light, LED combination with the switches and everything. 30 bucks. These are bright ass lights. They got the yellow and the clear, and they flash. They do all kinds of stuff. It's amazing what you can get. An example. This switch panel is for a boat, right? I'm going to use it in my car because I like it. But it's a boat switch panel. It's got two different power. It's got USB power, power outlet. It's got the voltage. It's got all these 5 switches and all this. I think this thing was 10 bucks. 10 bucks. Back when I was a firefighter, this would have cost $150. It's just amazing what you can buy. Amazing. Riley does the same thing. I agree. Basically, what we're coming to is the local stores are raising prices because they've got to stay in business, right? So your local stores are raising their prices. Look, we're going to have to charge $100 for these headlights because we've got to make enough money to keep this business. We've got a standalone store, we've got power bill, we've got employees. So what happens? Well, they have to do it. So what they do to keep the lights on is they raise the prices and they raise the prices. Well, the people on Amazon, they don't have lights to keep on. All right, they're small mom paws, or they're reselling things that they got over in China or whatever. And so they're able to do things a lot cheaper on Amazon than we're able to do than they're able to do here at our local store. And so eventually the local stores are just going to go out of business. I don't see how the business model can survive at this point. The only ones that will survive are going to be the ones like Walmart that are able to remain at that price point. Walmart is one of the only stores out there that's been able to remain at a price point that's the same as online. When I go into Walmart and I see, I don't know, what, a lawn chair, all right, in their camping section, when I go look at that and I go look at it online, by the time I add shipping or whatever I got to do to get it from eBay or Amazon, the price is the same or more. Walmart is about the only place in town that can beat Amazon. And that's why Amazon's just kicking ass on stuff like headlight bulbs. I got the big LED parking light, brake lights and all the nice ones. Look, $8 a set. At AutoZone, I had to take the card up front and get them from them. They had them in the back. They had all the headlights. All of it's in the back now. Why? Because those little marker lights were $30 for a pair of them. I got them for under $10 for a pair of them. And the ones I got are brighter, they're bigger, they're cooler looking. I don't know. I just, there's certain things I've got to where I order, I'm an Amazon Prime. I don't normally pay for bullshit, okay? But I pay for Amazon Prime. And you know where it says you save so much on shipping? Every month I'm in the plus. Every month I save back at least 2 or 3 times what I paid on Prime for the shipping. And I get the Prime Video, which I use every now and then. And there's a few other perks I've used before. But the point I'm trying to make is no matter what, Amazon generally has whatever, even ham radio stuff. I can buy ham radios on there. I can buy, especially the Chinese stuff, but I can buy all kinds of stuff. I love being able to just buy whatever I want to buy. Well, these videos have all just gone to shit, haven't they? I like being able to buy and have it, and I'll tell you, it comes in quick enough. I'm a pretty I want it right now kind of guy. But I have to admit that Amazon does really good. I can order as late as 8 or 9 o'clock at night and get it by 2 or 3 o'clock the next day. So it's about an 18-hour turnaround. Okay, and you're right. And I'm going to speak to that point. Are these as good a headlights as the one at AutoZone? I don't know. And they might fail. They might go to shit. If it's within the first 30 days, they take them back, no questions asked. That's one thing about Amazon. 30-day free return, no questions asked. But the second thing is, these are $10 a piece. Theirs are $50 a piece. I could go through 4 sets of these and still have saved money. I mean, well, and some, RuPaul, some people believe that, like ham radio guys. A lot of ham radio guys will be like, look, I know it costs a little more at DX Engineering, or it costs a little more at that big ham place, I forget what it's called. But I want to support my local ham radio store, or I want to support my regional ham radio store. I get that. And I'm not even saying that's wrong. I'm cheap and I don't have the money for that shit, so I'm supporting myself. What are you doing, kitty? There is a lot of crap. I'll tell you what. I bought a Nagoya antenna that was a fake. Um, you know, you will get stuff every now and then. If you buy rock bottom cheapy shit, it's rock bottom cheapy shit. I just bought a little antenna for my car, like a little quarter wave antenna for my car, and it doesn't seem to want to SWR out very good. And that's what you get with cheap antennas, you know. Yes, the tip to getting your license is easy. You want to go and get you an app and put it in your phone. All you have to do is memorize the correct answers to 300 questions. I know that sounds like a lot, but it's not. And here's the thing, some of the questions are even almost the same. Here's the thing, download the app. I'm not sure which app it is. I use the one, most of them do, they all do this, I think. You download the app, Ham Study, I think is the one I use. You download it, it shows like a little bubble sheet is the icon. You download that app and you put it in your phone. You set it for tech or general or whatever test you're taking. It'll be technician if you're new. You set it for technician, and then you set it to give you the answer. It'll give you the answer. It'll give you the question, and it'll just give you the right answer. And then what you do is you read the question and the right answer. Next. Question, right answer. Next. Question, right answer. Next. Question, right answer. And you do that for 300 questions. You do it once a day. In a week, you walk in there and you take your test and you pass it. It's easy. It's easy. They give you the exact question and the exact answer. It's not the right letter. It could be A, B, C, D. I don't know. The letters don't match. But the question, the verbiage, and the answer verbiage exactly match from the study guide to the test. So in other words, these are published questions. So all you have to do is just do what I just said. Don't ever read the wrong answers. If you ever took any advice, don't read the wrong answers. Don't look at the wrong answers. Don't even, you got to just block them out. Read nothing but the question and the right answer. Swipe. Question, right answer. Swipe. And you just keep doing that. I did that. I did it 5 times, start to bottom, and I went in and I passed it. I think I missed 1 or 2 questions. You only have to actually take 35 questions when you go in there, but you don't know which 35 they're going to pick. So you have to be up on the 300. I know it sounds like a lot, but it's really not that bad. That's my biggest tip right there. And as far as getting your license, if your local club gives the testing, they'll usually do it for nothing or a small fee. That'll work. There's also, if you put in ham testing via Zoom or remote ham testing, there's a place in California that does all the tests now on Zoom. And you literally zoom in and they watch you take the test on Zoom. I did it. I took my general that way. The booklet, if you want to do it the old-fashioned way and actually learn shit, you can do that. You wanted the easiest way. The easiest way, question, answer, just read it. And then when you get in there, you read the question on the test, and then you glance down, and that right answer will jump out at you because that you read question, answer. So when you get in there to the test and you read the question, you already know the answer in your head. Or when you scan down, you'll see it. It'll pop right out. Oh, there it is. And that's how you do it. Yeah. Well, here's the thing with ham radio. You can, once you get your general license, you get up on HF, for $300 or $400, you can buy a radio you can talk around the world on with a big piece of wire. That's when ham radio gets fun. I know people that get in the ham radio and they stay up on the UHF, VHF bands. They do their local nets, and that's it. And that's as far as they go. There's other people that get into it a lot more than I do, even, and do contesting, and they go to big contests. They meet up at places, and they compete against other groups for who can make the most contacts on the radio and stuff like that. There's just everybody. People do all kinds of different things. I know a guy. 90% of what he does is satellite work. That's all he really cares about. Space station, satellites, satellite repeaters, weather satellites. It's his thing. He loves satellites. That's what he got in the ham radio for, so he could transmit and receive from our satellites. Other people get into different things. People get into automated stuff, the APRS, the different kinds of packet radio and things like that. Other people get into different modes, digital modes. There's so many different things you can get into, and it's good to have ham radio in an emergency. But I don't know. It's not a big deal. It's nice to have it. It's not a big thing. As big as hurricanes are down here, the ham radio, most of these old guys that are in the ham radio, when the weather gets bad, they all leave. So I don't know why. They train and train and train and train and train for 20 years, and then here comes the big one, and they all fucking leave. I don't get it. It's like, what are you doing? I thought we trained for this, and you all left. Oh, the South Coast reflector. I've heard of some really neat radio, repeaters around and stuff. I've heard about there's one they call the East Coast reflector, I think, too, over here somewhere. At least there used to be. I don't know if it's still there. Yeah, and even if you're not in the ham radio, you should probably still own a VHF, UHF handheld. It's a good thing to have. If you're any kind of prepper at all, you want to have one of those. You want to buy one of the new 10-watt ones, and you want to program it with everything you would ever need. And that's basically the way to do it. All right, guys, I've been on for 2 hours and 38 minutes. You guys have a way of keeping me on here. There you go. Ham radio is a lot of fun. I recommend it for everybody. If you're into science at all, you can get into ham radio. It is so cool. And even if you think of yourself as someone that maybe not smart enough, or maybe not attuned enough, or maybe not interested enough, you may be surprised. You may be surprised. This stuff's not that difficult, and there's a lot of stuff you can do in ham radio that doesn't require you to have a PhD in science or anything like that. Okay. Yeah, there's a lot of different radios out there. Right now I'm recommending the Bofeng UV25. That's what I have. It's a huge radio. It's huge. If you're looking for something to conveniently carry around, maybe not. But the new 5RM is nice too. UV5RM. All right, guys. I'm gonna go ahead and go now, and I mean it this time. Thanks everybody for coming in tonight. Thanks for all the views and the thumbs up and all that kind of good stuff. And if you guys haven't given us a sub yet, it really makes a big difference. Also, go give a sub to our backup channel, and also check out our Discord. We've got several other things there that we're doing, and we're slowly getting on different social medias and stuff. I'm getting there as I go through things, and I don't know. I'm looking for ways to integrate it. I can't just do a million things. I got to have a way to integrate it. So anyway, there's our Discord server. So if you do Discord, and I've had several people tell me I don't do Discord because I don't like arguing and yelling. That has not been my experience. I like Discord. Everybody's been nice over there. It's a great place to use to send links. That's what we're mostly using it for, is so that we can post news back and forth to each other and send links back and forth to each other. And so That's kind of important. Anyway, if you guys have anything during the show, you want to put a link in, you just put it in Discord under General, and then let me know in the chat room, and I grab your link, bring it right over, and we'll watch whatever it is you guys are seeing. So it works really good. And that is our backup channel, Starship After Dark. If you guys could throw a like on there, I'd appreciate it. We've got the 7.2 up over there right now, and that is our backup channel. So, yep, cheers, and y'all have a good night. I hope so. We'll see how that goes. All right, guys. Yep, we'll do it. I should be here tomorrow night. If not, I'll throw something up on the General on Discord. But I'm going to try to be here every night this week. We'll see how it goes. I usually am home. Sometimes I go by after work and see my mom for an hour, and that would just make me a little late like I am tonight. So we'll see how that goes. But I'll be here. We'll see you guys later, everybody. Have a good one out there. This is live from Southwest Florida, which is North Fort Myers area. My name is Ian, and this is Starship Adventures. And I hope to see you guys tomorrow night on our next adventure down the log or wherever. 7-3s, everybody. 7-3s. Be safe out there. And remember, the world's not going to come to an end, at least not this week. Have a good one, everybody. Good night.